Counting, episode 7. The Patriots have advanced the AFC Championship game after defeating the Houston Texans 28-16. Is that correct? Do I have the score correct there?
Yes.
Yep.
Patriots Advance. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to that game, but we're actually going to start from the AFC Divisional games, talk about those, our thoughts on them, because I quite frankly think it's important. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the, if not biggest, one of the greatest, if not the biggest, Josh Allen sympathizers here on 30 and Counting's podcast, the Jack Halal. It's been a tough going for Jack recently. I think last 2 days have just been filled with a lot of anger, a lot of rage. I'm going to allow for him to give him space. This is like therapy. This podcast is a lot like therapy. So I'm going to allow for him to have the floor and tell us a little bit about that Broncos-Bills game.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're watching the show or you're a fan of the show, I'm assuming everyone watched that game and, you know, the events that transpired out west yesterday. And, you know, I was rooting for Buffalo because I didn't want to go to Denver and I didn't want to go up against, their defense. And then, obviously, you know, Buffalo lost. And, you know, in my opinion, I think they lost in some unfortunate fashion. I think they once again got kind of robbed of a chance to play for the AFC Championship in Foxborough. Josh Allen had 5 turnovers. Obviously, 5 turnovers is never going to put you in a position to win a game. Yeah, it's just how it is in professional sports. Any sport, if you have 5 turnovers individually, you're not going to put yourself in a position to win a game. With that being said, there's a fine line apparently of what a catch is or what pass interference is or whatnot. So, again, I know Patriot fans go both ways. Actually, I'm sorry. I should reiterate that. I know Patriot fans, go strictly one way when it comes to anything but their own team. I call it how it is. If I see something, I'm going to say something. I'm not just going to be like, fuck the Bills. They did it themselves. I don't believe in that. If you're getting paid $500,000 to officiate a game, you're going to officiate it correctly. And you need to know the rules to the T. That's how I do things. That's how I look at it. And it's $1 billion organization. And if they just keep getting these calls wrong, then it's going to be a problem. So that's the way I look at it. Props to the Broncos for putting up, 33 points, but at the end of the day, there should be an AFC title game in Foxborough, come next Sunday.
I think it's a tough way to angle it when the whole point of emphasis here is that you wanted the Patriots to host a playoff game. At the same time, I think the two key parts of this win for Denver comes up big for them when it comes to the PIs. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that now. I'll let Declan talk about that, and then I'll go to Jack because, ladies and gentlemen, if you were a part of any group chat in the last couple of days, Jack might have looked like he was jumping through tables for Bills Mafia. That's kind of what it was like. Jack's just in a sour mood. I get it. I mean, his team lost. So quite frankly, Declan, on the PIs before Jack has the floor again, where were you on those?
I think obviously the second one was a PI. And even on the first one, if it's not a PI, it still was going to be roughing the passer. The Bills, D lineman drilled Bo Nix, after the throw. So maybe it wouldn't have been exactly the same spot. It would have been 5 yards less. But I think the second was of a PI. And then White really just coming apart. I mean, he was coming apart the whole game. He would there's no reason why they got flashing by the commercials, but there's no reason why Tre'Davious White should be on that Bills team. He was getting burned all game. He's washed.
That was to make a consensus answer though. Both the PIs in your eyes were pass interference because in my eyes they were.
I think,
not to say that we're not going to get to that.
I think the first one was borderline. It could have went either way. It could be low soft, but I still think it was one, even though it was a low soft. But the second one was PI. It's just the first one was a little soft.
Well, as a high school quarterback, somebody that knows basically everything about being a quarterback, according to Jack Halal, because, I don't really know where that came from, but we'll talk about it. To me, that first call was soft. I don't think it should have went that way. The Tre'Davious White tackle, though, before the ball was even catchable, was pass interference. It's just, that's what it's written like in the book. I know the Bills have changed the rules about 100 million times because they haven't won games in the playoffs, so they have to change the rules. But, we'll see if it happens again. Jack's not liking this discussion. I mean, I just have to hear it. How are those not pass interference?
Well, I mean, again, I think the whole, I think, again, like if there was one that was more pass interference than the other, is the second one. But at the end of the day, my focus is really on the catch in overtime that I really wanted to put a point of emphasis to, because there's been numerous situations where a situation like that has happened, and it's never a pattern of getting the call correct. It's just like it happened in Patriots Bills earlier this year in Foxborough. It was intercepted by our safety. I believe it was Marcus Jones, and it was ruled a catch by the Bills. Same last year happened with Xavier Worthy in Arrowhead against the Bills in the AFC title game. Bills guy intercepted. He obviously came down with it on Xavier Worthy's chest, and Xavier Worthy rolled over, and they said, "Oh, it's a catch by Xavier Worthy." So the issue that I have is they clearly don't know exactly how to call it. Like if it's different every time,
but like I'll say this. But like just because they maybe have gotten it wrong before, wouldn't you just want them to get it right, not just like calling it the same if
not
it's wrong?
Necessarily, I want you to be fair. I want you to be fair.
Well, but it's like, Jack,
and
it's
you said call it right. How are you going to say
okay.
they called it right in Denver? But okay, so they missed two calls then, the one in the Chiefs and the one against.
I'm not necessarily saying that. You have to go back and like look at those, Jack. It's like it's the same type of play, just in the opposite way. By the way, like I think if you line up the Broncos guy as a wide receiver, they would have called that a catch for the wide receiver. Like if the Broncos was a wide receiver, they would have called it a catch for the wide receiver. Like I don't necessarily think those catches. Well, if like you want to look at the Patriots one, that's a whole different story because you can actually see who really caught it. Because I think they missed the call on that. Mm-hmm. I think Marcus Jones caught the ball. The Worthy one I don't remember, so I would have to look at that one. But in the confines of the rules, like
I'm sorry to pause you, Jack. What is your what's your thing about that?
It's just it's classic. Like the Patriots one, obviously Marcus Jones lost the ball. Like
Marcus Jones took the ball,
obviously, but like in the other two situations that I brought up, that was the right call. It's just like
it is the right call.
This doesn't make good content. It doesn't. To be talking over each other, people can barely hear you. This doesn't make good content at all. Just to be in the middle of it. This has been a complete meltdown. I mean, not only for the Buffalo Bills organization, but for you, Jack. It's been awful. And I think that Allen turned the ball over 5 times. We get that. We understand that. He had a tough game. He had a really bad game, right? To be sitting here on a podcast a day after the game's over and still in position to say that those 2 calls, whatever the case is, however you feel about them, sure, I get it. The whole point of us being here is to talk about these situations and to talk about what the outcome was. Unfortunately, in your case, I can't fathom the fact that you're sitting here complaining about these calls rather than complaining about the coaching, rather than complaining about the play. That was really bad for Buffalo. And we're talking about going overtime. When you talk about your key on the catch in overtime, my key in this game, 3rd and 10, he had Dalton Kincaid with 10 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Overthrew him. If Josh Allen makes that throw, we would not be having this conversation. I just think
he underthrew it on the catch decision.
I just think if you're going to key a specific moment, rather than keying pass interference calls, Josh Allen folded in that spot. They kicked the field goal. They went to OT. I just have to say, coming from a Patriots fan, I don't know if you are one, but I just think that it's a little strange for Bills fans every year. And I'm not saying you're a Bills fan. I don't know where you stand on that, but it's a little strange that every year when there's a PI call or what, it's always, the ref sold and if the Baltimore Ravens are in this situation, Lamar Jackson did that. I mean, it'd be a completely different story. That's how I look at this. I mean, it's really embarrassing for the Buffalo Bills as an organization that Josh Allen has been in this league for 7+ years. He's turning 30, and every year we sit there and we watch Josh Allen cry at the podium, and we're supposed to give him props. I mean, that was a really bad game. I mean, if you're gonna hone in on the PIs, I don't know. Any final thoughts, Jack, before we move on to the next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, at the end of the day, like, everyone has their own opinion. And I think you made a good point. It's why we do a sports show, right? We're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about what we think. But again, if you call it one way twice and then you call it one way another time, it's just it just misconstrues the rules. That's just all I'm saying.
Well,
it's just a lackluster thing.
Pass interference has been ticky-tacky since the time they changed it, and a lot of other things have been ticky-tacky since the time the Bills made rules changes. Anyways, moving on. And before we actually move on, I just want to say, big props to you, Declan. Big props to you, Jack, for coming together here after the game. Big props to Jack for skipping out on his dinner early on. I'm sure he's going to catch some dessert later. That should be nice.
I'll get some dinner. I mean, I'm not going to miss that much.
There you go. Big props on that end. Anyways, moving on. Obviously, the second game of the night after the Broncos-Bills game being that Seahawks-Niners game, a complete meltdown from San Francisco. I think offensively, I kind of expected that from Brock Purdy. You miss out on George Kittle. But did I expect the Seahawks to put 41 points on the board? I quite frankly didn't. So, Declan, thoughts?
Yeah, just like even before they kicked the ball off, the energy in that stadium felt like because like they've always had the craziest atmosphere, but then for them to have a kick return the first play, it just reminded me kind of the old Seahawks, in like 2015 kind of era, that like old kind of team, because they always had the best crowd, because they've had the loudest crowd like for like years when they were that
12th
were
man.
that team. Yeah, and like they had like a Doug Baldwin there also to be the honorary like 12th man. I think the Seahawks team is one of the scariest teams I've ever seen in like a while. They look like how scary they looked like when they were in 2015. That or like 2013. But like they look like this defense is not playing around. Sam Darnold played a great game. It didn't seem like that like oblique strain faltered him at all, even though he didn't play till Thursday. But yeah, the Seahawks team, like the running game, they have Cooper Kupp too. Like don't forget him. They have Barner. Like that offense is just as good as that defense. Even though obviously the defense is better, but that defense is just so scary. It would be really scary if the Patriots end up getting there. Yeah,
I think Legion. It's like their own version of Legion of Boom. I think they're strategical. I think
obviously not as good.
I think they play fundamental defense. They don't play in a way that Houston plays. Houston plays in a very physical defense, and we'll talk about how that kind of panned out for New England. But yeah, I mean, for me, I see Sam Darnold. I see a facilitator. I see somebody that can really push that offense. He's been doing a really good job with what he's got. Jackson with the Jigba and all. But again, the defense, it takes them far. And going into a conference championship game, we'll see how it goes. Rams, Bears going on right now as we're recording this. So, I think Darnold did a good job. I think he solidified himself as somebody that can be a part of this Seahawks organization for a pretty long time. And I think the Vikings are kicking themselves in the foot right now for letting a guy like that go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's obviously pretty scary seeing a team, take one of the best backs the league's seen in the last, I don't even know how many years in Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he couldn't do anything, right? And this defense is good, man. Like they play physical, they're quick, they're strong, they fly around the field. But it usually, usually when a team has a really good defense, their offense is kind of at times it can get hot, but at times not so much. This Seattle team's just complete from top to bottom. I mean, you just don't want to play them. I mean, punt returns, kick returns, offense, defense. I mean, look, last year in Minnesota, but didn't have a good playoff game. He's now in Seattle, takes off. I mean, this team is probably the
Yeah, you DC for a second. I think you disconnected.
We just lost each other for like a couple seconds. Jack, where you're talking about Seahawks defense and
Yeah, I was just gonna say, look, they're. I mean, they probably should be the favorites right now. I mean, I don't think I've watched really a Seattle game where I was like, wow, they looked awful on all three facets of the field. Like and very rarely do they play bad, So it's going to be tough. Whoever faces them in Santa Clara, if they get there, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Obviously now we move on to Sunday. So Broncos and the Seahawks win. I think that gives it a one up to Declan's bracket. Since he took the
No, I picked the Bills to win.
The Bills. Did anyone take the Broncos here?
No.
Yeah, so our brackets are all fucked, but it's fine.
I was going to, but I changed my mind.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously Broncos win, Seahawks win. Now going into 3 p.m. today on Sunday, this video comes out tonight, so you guys will, this is kind of a live reaction situation. The Patriots, they take on the Houston Texans. I think the way I look at this game, and I think there's a conflicting, before we get into the offense, I think there's a really weird anti-Patriots defense thing going around the NFL, like in general. I think that this defense, damn, I'm really losing you guys a lot today. Like, I'm just freezing a lot. I think this Patriots defense is one of the best in the NFL. I think they showed that today. CJ Stroud was a pumpkin. I was really nervous in the first half. Drake had a horrific first half. His second half, he was 17 for 20, 100 some odd yards and 2 touchdowns, I believe, or a touchdown. Was stellar in the second half when he threw the ball, because we'll get into Josh McDaniels' play calling, but it was tough. But I think this Patriots defense is not ranked high enough in the eyes of the NFL. They were unbelievable. Adding Bobby Spillane, adding Tonga, adding all these guys back for a playoff run. It's been elite for the Patriots defense. I think CJ Stroud, there's going to be some question marks going into next season. That was, I thought Allen's performance was bad, but he still kept the Bills in the game, even though they were down. But Stroud 10-upped him when it came to being horrific. Jack, I'll start with you on this game.
Yeah, first half was, kind of butterflies in the stomach. Both teams really, the Patriots, scored first, but it was back and forth, right? Like it wasn't like the Patriots are kind of manning their ground. They're doing their thing at home and they're handling their business against this Texans team, and then obviously in the second half comes around and you're like, whoa, this is just a defensive battle. But I think you make a good point, Chuck. Like, look, the folks I was watching the game with today, like, I think the Patriots defense was kind of almost felt insulted that nobody was talking about them.
I don't know. EMP. You got an EMP on you. You got an EMP on you, bro. What's up? I think Bill's Mafia is trying to get you.
I said, is Chuck getting DDoS?
By Bill's Mafia. Wait, they heard.
With your folks watching the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We were talking about it, and I think it's a good point, that someone brought up. Look, I think the Patriots defense kind of felt insulted that nobody was talking about how good they are. And they proved it tonight. I mean, obviously, look, that offense isn't a great offense. They didn't have Nico Collins. But I mean, 5 turnovers and all those interceptions, like it's, our guys were flying around the field. They were pressuring CJ Stroud. Like, our defense is very good. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. I can see where the hype for the Houston defense, was. I could see it. They're great. But I think the Patriots kind of felt like, whoa, whoa, whoa. take a look at take a look at our season too. Look how we've been playing on the defensive side of the ball. And I think they had a chip on their shoulder, and they obviously showed it tonight. And our defense was flying around. I think any team who watched the Patriots or this game, the Patriot game, is like, wow, this defense is kind of scary. However, quickly, their offense needs work, and they got to start stronger because let me tell you, against a team like Seattle, if they do make it, Seattle's going to eat that alive, and we're going to be down a lot of points very quickly, and it's going to be too little, too late. So you got to learn how to score quickly, and I know it's late in the season, but got to get the offense going.
Yeah, I think that game, I think to Drake May's credit, you know, obviously gotta be better than the fumbles. I think, I think, I think, I think some of them is fault, some of them not. Like the O line, I think played kind of an impact. It did. I think it obviously you got back the football better. The one where it got punched out, that was bad. I agree. But his second half, I think he played a lot better. I think they called a lot better play calls. I think maybe in the fourth quarter, because in the third quarter they were also calling some bad. I don't know what McDaniels was really doing. He kind of just kept running the same formation in a row, and I'm like, bro, like it's like you can run the ball, but don't run the ball in the same formation 5 times in a row. It's not gonna work. And it's just and it kept making the team have to go third and long, third and medium, third and long, third and medium. But towards the fourth and to get the touchdown, a lot better play. I think getting the passing more involved. I think them passing to a booty twice and the touchdown, and then obviously the booty touchdown, which they called way better plays. And then to ice the game, Josh McDaniels called way better run plays. That worked because guess what? He ran different formations. So that's why they were able to then run the ball and basically ice the game. So yeah, I think the offense, like Jack says, doesn't need to be better at they need better pass protection, and Drake May needs to hold on to the ball. And I think everyone needs to hold on to the ball.
Their connection's been all over the place today, but I'm sure we'll cut up a good episode. But I want to say that the fumbles, it's been him. I can't put it on anybody else. I know that Will Campbell is facing Will Anderson, and he's a rookie in the NFL. I mean, I'm not really expecting him to hold his ground. And Drake fumbled 4 times, and they came at really bad spots, and the defense did a really good job keeping the offense in the game. I think what's the score of the Rams-Bears game?
I'll check.
10-10.
Yep, 10-10 start of the third.
Yeah. Before
I continue about this Patriots game, I think we'll look ahead to the Broncos game, live updates on that while we're talking. But I think May, that's got to stop. That won't win you championships. That won't win you anything. That won't win you playoff games if you're fumbling the ball like that. And I said it at the time. I said it from the jump. That I think they're all on him. I think he kind of just forgot that he has legs. He can run. He can run. There was 2 strip sacks, or two fumbles where I'm like, Drake, get the fuck out of there, because he ran on one of them and he got a first down. Go get it. You're not Tom Brady. Don't be a statue. I get that he's giving props to that offensive line. He's trying to stick behind them and be confident, but that's where I'm at on the con side. It's just you can't turn the ball over like that. I think for box score watchers, that one interception on a Hail Mary is it's good for them, but what does it matter? They just took a shot to the end zone. Jack, I know you got a word to say, so I'm gonna go to you before come back to me for something.
Yeah. No, look, I know in our group chat at school for the radio station, I was giving Will Campbell a hard time. You make a good point, honestly. When I think about it, he's going up against Will Anderson. Obviously, guy's a stud. There's a reason why people know his name, around the league. I do agree it's on Drake. And the reason I say this is because I think if Drake wants to really, jump the line from being really good to great, is he needs to understand and he needs to develop better pocket presence. And what I mean by that is I understand there were times where Will Anderson kind of went around Will Campbell and kind of attacked Drake from the back.
Yeah, stunts.
You know, yeah, I think when you look at Tom Brady, again, I'm not comparing him play style to Tom Brady or anything, and Tom Brady's the greatest ever. But Tom Brady has such a good pocket presence. He knew where every single guy was, and he knew when a guy was behind him to step forward or to step back or to move a couple feet. Like, I just don't think Drake has that right now, and I think he needs to develop it, and he'll really turn the corner to being a great quarterback.
I think that is a very good point, and it's extremely important because we talk about all the good things that Drake May has done for this team. He's been incredible. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But when you watch him, you kind of forget that he's 23 years old, and that the growing pains are there, and they have to happen. And the fact that they're happening in the AFC divisional game stings a bit, right? You still won, but Drake better be in there telling his defense, thank you so fucking much. I mean, I know Drake threw 3 touchdowns. I think the play of the game that put a stamp on this game was the Kayshon Boutte one-handed touchdown. I mean, that was a ridiculous throw. I know Jack was Jack was at rage bait peak in the chat because he was like, oh, he's bailing him out, like whatever. I knew he was rage baiting there. Like, I know he's been a little upset, but that one was rage bait. That was a ridiculous catch. I'm cheesing like crazy right now because the fact that he put his arm out, brought it in, and you know, Stingley's kind of been his guy. He's put his number on this guy, and Stingley's been burnt by him twice now. One in a much.
Yeah, but also, by the way, even in that play, like he kind of does grab Bootie's arm, you know, in that play, and like I think that's what made him have to reach for one hand, anyways. If he doesn't grab it, his arm, he gets that with 2 hands.
100%. But yeah, Patriots, they win. I don't know. I'll look back at our score predictions, and see.
I think I was I close?
I think you were the closest. If I can't remember. We're doing this quick, so I didn't have anything ready prepared. But
I know I said 24-21.
You were close. I think we were all close. I said 27-20.
I said 28 for the Patriots. I know that.
I said 27-20.
I think Declan said 28.
21. I said 21 for the Texans.
Yeah, he said 21. We were all in the same ballpark. We all knew it was going to take 20 plus points to beat the Texans. We all knew that. Real quick, one question I'm going to present to you guys. Then we're going to move on to our AFC Championship preview. I'm going to send this to Jack because me and Jack, quite honestly, don't really like Ohio State. I don't hate Ohio State as much as Jack, but I'm a Michigan guy, and I don't really it's a weird thing. When I'm watching that, I'm I like Michigan, but I know Ohio State just puts belt to ass, but whatever. Do you think CJ Stroud is that a questionable room in Houston?
I think it's a good question, and I think it's starting to develop some thoughts. Look, he had an unbelievable rookie year. The last 2 years have not really been good. I think it's hard to say because I do think CJ Stroud can play football at a high level. I do. I think he's great. I think he's good. Sorry, I shouldn't say great. But look, it's definitely concerning when your best year is your rookie year if you've been in the league for 4 years. It is concerning. I think he's just kind of in a slump. I don't know. I don't want to say he's washed or he's a bust because I don't think it's kind of fair yet, including with that good rookie season he had. But it's definitely a conversation. Davis Mills kind of looked pretty good when he played this year. He got
Houston to the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. So again, CJ Stroud, he tends to get injured. And Davis Mills, he won him the 3 games, and like you said, got him into the playoffs. It's a conversation to have. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think CJ's going anywhere, but I think it's concerning that his best year of 4 years was his rookie season.
Yeah, I think more as a probably next year to look at it, because I think after next year his rookie year is over, or his rookie deal is over.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a conversation probably next year. They brought it up on the ESPN broadcast where it's he's been chasing the success he's had from his rookie season. The past 2 seasons, it's just he hasn't really gotten back. It seems like either a slump, something in his head, like Jack said. I mean, it like I also think the defenses after that year, like they did a good job, like at knowing what he was going to do, and he hasn't really adapted to what the new defensive schemes are for him, like in the rookie season. Because in the rookie season, I think no one thought he was going to be that good. No one thought the Texans were going to be that good at all.
Right.
And like I think defenses have kind of like figured him out. I think they might look at their because like I know they hired like a new OC for this season. Doesn't seem like there was much of an OC. And they might look at him and like maybe he loses his job because like this offense sometimes is just like a frustrating offense because an offense that should be better.
This is probably a bottom 5 episode with the amount of connection errors I'm having, but I see where you were going, and I think the audience understands that too. And we apologize for all the fucking network issues, but yeah, to wrap this, put this in a bow. I mean, tonight I want Chicago to win. I did pick LA. I think LA. Dude, I don't know my network is so bad. Okay.
Mhm.
I did pick LA. But I do want Chicago to win.
Yeah.
All right, wow. Previewing this Broncos game. Patriots are going to Denver. Really unfortunate that Bo Nix broke his ankle.
Yeah, because it would have been a way better game
in overtime. This sets up Jared Stidham to start for the Denver Broncos. I actually think.
Fifth-year start.
Hold on, everyone's frozen.
Oh no.
Jesus, this is one of those. There's so many people on the fucking Wi-Fi right now. I thought we had 1,000 mega speed fucking internet in the Chuck house, but I guess we don't. I actually think this game is going to be kind of like the Texans game because the Broncos have a really good defense. They have a really, really good defense. Is it as physical as Houston? No. But it's fundamentally very good. And I think Drake will have to overcome those fumble struggles. And I think that, like Jack said, you start fast. I think you can kind of put this game away. Mile High is a tough place to play. We've talked about that. But the it of this game is not really there anymore. I don't know if Jack and Declan agree with me, but without Bo Nix, without your starting quarterback, this is a quarterback-driven league. We know that. Where do we fare on this game?
I think we'll win this game.
Hold on, we are freezing like crazy. Okay, this is one of those days right here.
Bills Mafia is just having a field day.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Chip's internet.
Declan.
Having a field day. Okay.
Broncos Pats.
I just think it's like, bro, they listed today Jared Stidham hasn't thrown a pass since 2023, which is insane. It's his 5th career start. And even on his starts on the Raiders, he was terrible. It's like he couldn't find anybody. I think obviously when you have like a guy like Sean Payton, who's a great football mind, he's done it before in this league. He's a great winner. But like it's Jared Stidham. I think this would have been such a good game if Bo Nix wasn't injured. It's like both players from their second year that are in the same rookie class that were both picked in like the top 10. It's like it just kind of sucks because it's like you want to see this matchup. Like could this be a matchup for years to come? This could be like a new kind of like little like rivalry. Like kind of like a Peyton Manning Brady situation, kind of like that type of stuff.
Right.
And it's just unfortunate to see that. I think we'll win soundly. I think we'll win by 2 scores. Like it just sucks that like it's Jared Stidham. And as much as he wants to make this his revenge game, it's not going to be. He's just not good enough to be he's just not really that good of a backup anyways. I would I think even like Riley Leonard on the team would be a better option as a third string. I really think Riley Leonard would be better than Jared Stidham because at least Leonard's has he played? some games, right?
Declan, if you were to ask me Riley Leonard FC, has he played? I don't know if I'm here. I don't know if I know about. I don't know where Riley Leonard has been. He's been anywhere but a football field.
They could, or they could call up Philip Rivers again.
Jack,
Bailey Zappi's on the market.
Jack, I don't like know what to make of this game. I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk. I think the Broncos defense is really good.
I don't think it is either. I just still think we'll win by 2 scores.
It's just that you saw what happened against Houston. Their quarterback play was horrific. It could be a similar game.
For sure. I don't think it's a cakewalk by any means, actually. I'm still worried. I'm not as worried, obviously, without Bo out there. Look, it kind of, when the news broke that Bo broke his ankle, immediately my mind, because I live in the negative, immediately my mind went back to, I forget exactly what year it was, but it was snowy in Denver. Patriots went to Denver. They played Brock Osweiler when Peyton was hurt, and they lost, and they were like 10-0. And it, to me, like, immediately just said backup quarterback in Denver, bad mojo, right? And I know that was regular season. It's completely different. But again, you're in Denver, backup quarterback. If history repeats itself. Now, again, I'm not here to, put gasoline on the fire. But it's just like, you really can't take anything for granted. And I don't want our defense to be like, oh, we just played one of our best, games of the year against Houston. Like, we're going to go out there and have a cakewalk. You can't think of it like that. You gotta expect Sean Payton being the coach he is, as Declan emphasized, like, he's going to go out there. He's going to have his guys ready, and he's going to have Jarrett ready as much as he can. And again, that crowd, I feel like, is going to be behind Jarrett. If they do beat us and they go to the Super Bowl, they're going to have a very bad chance and a very tough time. But again, like, you gotta imagine Sean's going to have Jarrett ready. And I don't think it's a cakewalk at all. But the offense, again, it's got to start early, got to score early, and defense has just got to hold their ground and just get Jarrett uncomfortable. Don't try to do anything. Don't try to be the superhero. Just make him uncomfortable.
I mean, that's how I look at it. I think the biggest thing is, though, I just don't expect the way the Patriots have been coached, the mentality that they've had all season. I don't expect them to go into this thinking, oh, it's Jarrett Stidham. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I think Josh McDaniels knows what it's like to coach there as he was a head coach there. And he also knows what it's like to play in Denver. It's a tough place to play, 100%. But if you can rally your guys and get up by 2 scores and win by 2 scores, I say it's going to happen. I'm going to go, and this was the AFC Championship game that I had originally predicted before we did our final one against the Bills, and now I originally predicted this one. I'm going to go Patriots 31, Broncos 17. Patriots take the win.
That was going to be the exact one I had in my head.
You going the same one?
Like, I might as well, because, like, I had the thought before, and I wanted to say mine first. But yeah, I guess I'll just copy yours, because I don't think it'll go higher than that. I don't think they'll get near 40, so I'll go 31-17.
Say the Patriots advance 31-17, Jack.
Look, I think I don't think the Patriots score, in the 40s. I don't even think they score in the 30s. However, I do think this defense will make Jarrett make mistakes, and they're gonna score on the defensive side, and Jarrett's gonna turn the ball over. That being said, I think the Patriots win 27-17. They move on to Santa Clara. I just think I think Chuck makes a good point quickly. I think Vrabel is smart enough to realize we can't take a backup quarterback in this league for granted. We're into their territory. The fans are going to be around them. Their fans are going to rally around them. So are his players. You just got to do your thing. Got to go out there and be the big dogs. And, it's going to be fun to watch. Obviously, would have been way better with Bo. Like Declan said, could have been a Peyton Brady thing all over again. But, we'll see. I got 27-17 Patriots moving to Santa Clara.
The one thing I hate about the playoffs is when you're in it and your stomach hurts for a week. Your stomach that never stops hurting for a week, and that's what.
And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I think it's important for you two especially, because I know how you think about the Patriots, and I know you're full throttle. With that being said, look, I was saying earlier, the Patriots don't even if the Patriots don't make the Super Bowl, like we've overachieved immensely this year. Like this is a win. This has been more than a win.
Mhm.
So I don't want the guys to be down. Oh, Drake has another bad game. I let my guys down. No, you didn't. Everybody played their asses off all year. I think the over under was like 8 wins. You're at 14 and you're playing for the AFC title. Like it's just been a win. So go enjoy it. Go have fun. If it's the last game of the year, it's the last game of the year. You'll be back next year. Go have some fun.
That being said, I said this is the wild card. I just think their sights have been set so far beyond just being there and appearing in the AFC Championship game. I think we're in a prime position to make a Super Bowl, and that's the parity that the NFL brings, that I think that the MLB needs to see and learn from. The fact that the New England Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. Tonight, the Rams taking on the Bears. Any score update on that? Declan, 10-10 still?
Caleb Williams just threw a pick in his own end. It was kind of like a jump ball, and like Moore just got it was like to the sideline, and Moore just got
what's the score?
10-10 still.
So we'll see the outcome of that. I still think Chicago's going to win, even though I picked LA. I'm just fucking trash at picking. I'm just changing my picks all of a sudden. But we'll see where that ends up. But again, NFC is going to run through Seattle. Two tough places to play in Seattle and Denver. If Denver had their quarterback, I would be shitting bricks right now just thinking about what that would be like. I still am shitting bricks, but it's just that it's Jared Stidham. So it's like if
it would have been a lot closer.
100%.
It would have been a one-score game.
Yeah.
And not only the crowd and not only is Denver's defense good, but the altitude is tough. It's hard, especially for these big defensive linemen. Like again, I know, I don't know, maybe like play small D1 out west who are used to the altitude. But like a guy like Milton Williams, like he's not really. I know he's a big guy, and he's going to be huffing and puffing. So I think Mike's going to be pushing him at practice this week and getting him ready. But the altitude's tough. It's tough. It really is. It's a factor.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they're going to prepare themselves for that. There's 100,000 ways to do it. I'm excited to see how they do that. Post game, obviously, May kind of taking the blame again for the turnovers, which I think he should. I think it was just not when it came to turnovers being the fumbles. I think second half he was extremely efficient. His QBR went to 120 because of the second half. And if he's going to play like that in the second half, great. But if you play a full 4-quarter football game, you're winning the game. That's just that's it.
Yep.
So yeah, Patriots Broncos this upcoming Sunday. The game is at 3:00. Be at Mile High. It should be a fun watch. We appreciate you sticking around, watching this, listening, watching, whatever you're doing. We will be back in person this week as we come back to school. Jack comes back from his trip. Should be a very full semester of great episodes and great season in general. But thank you guys for coming on here this late. Jack, get to your fucking dinner before DH just gets on your case.
I will.
And
he's texting me right now.
We'll see you guys. Declan Nicky to my right, Jack Law to my left. Thank you for watching.